They had assisted the Saracens or the Muslims in the conquest of this kingdom, and gratitude as well as policy induced the victors to reward those who opened or secret aid they were so much and an intimate connection that therefore took place between the disciples and those of Muhammad to by reciprocal hatred and assisted till their common exposure. As time went on, the children of Judah returned from Torah. The Talmud is a Jewish religion based on the oral tradition. It calls the children of Judah to stop following of the Most High, Judah to follow after the traditions of men. Yahshua warned Judah against following the traditions of men. In Mark chapter 7, verse 5 reads, Then the Pharisees and the scribes asked him, Why walk not thy disciples according to the traditions of the elders, but eat bread with unwashed hands? Verse 6, He answered and said unto them, Well hath Isaiah prophesied, and as it is written, This people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men, laying aside the commandments of Yah. You hold the traditions of men as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things you do. And he said unto them, For well you reject the commandment of Yah, that you may keep your own traditions. So when the Jews abandoned the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, traditions of men, they are placed in reference. It shall come if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yah, Elohim, to observe, to do all his
So they try to knock me off. So just pause it real quick. Yeah.
commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
Pause it here. So hopefully I just paused it through. Hold on 1 second. Get this up here real quick. You can see me and my camera's off. Camera's funny right now, right? You can see me there. Okay. So basically what you missed so far, which is something I showed you, how the Spanish king, as we call the Spaniards, some of y'all may know them as the conquistadors, who are the Portuguese. The Portuguese are particularly the direct ones. Also with the Khazarians, were tag teaming this. Unfortunately, some of the Canaanites, who are the Khazarians, had their hand in this, and even some of our own. They say they are brothers. King James supposedly was one of ours, but he was done with the Jacobites. We do know the name Jacob. Many of you think it was a good name, but if you actually look up the name Jacob is Jacob. And some of these books for making other people besides us. And for this, that's why I told y'all all the names in the book are pagan by design. Even all the prophets' names are pagan by design. So y'all will not fall for the hijack and shalom. So, of course, the king, unfortunately, decided to make us become Christians, and he put a decree out that if we didn't want to become Christians, because that was not our religion, we'd have to leave, suffer death, even slavery, if we did not leave or start being Christians. Okay, learn the Christian ways. The other, so of course, I was left to the so-called Africa, but the fact was the whole world is actually Turtle Island. You can call it Africa too, because all the whole world is everywhere is Turtle Island. It's just certain parts of Turtle Island. They get divided. Look up Pandora, you know what I'm talking about, of America and our land. So the place is not going to destroy our land, like we're trying to tell you that. However, there are parts of the United States that is Egypt, and maybe that will be destroyed. And there are some other places in all over the world that are other lands. But really, altogether, it was once Turtle Island before it got divided, which many are calling Pandora, which is just a hijack because they don't want to call it what it is, Turtle Island. So that means even every place you say you live, you're saying the wrong name. Every state you say where you live, it's the wrong name. It doesn't matter how far you go back. If it's not saying what I just told you, it's all the wrong name. And it's done by design. So, moving forward, now, of course, the ones who decided to stay, they had to wear all black. You're going to get this, right? All black. Who's wearing all black now? The Khazarians, right? And the black people, I'm just going to use their terms, I say chosen people, who wore all black. They had to, black long robes, see where this is going, had to wear a black hat. They called it, it's really like a top hat, like the Khazarians are wearing right now. So the Khazarians actually copied us. But it wasn't a good thing. They actually throwing something in your face and smacking your face, because here's the kicker. We were forced to wear those outfits because we had to walk around every day, no matter where we was at, as if we were mourning. In other words, a submission to admit that we have fallen and they were above us as oppressors. So we had just around black robes all day with black top hats, like the Khazarians doing now. Now they're doing it pridefully and throwing it in your face and humping walls as they pray, because they're not defenders. They hijack everything and they steal everything and make things look bad. Things look good that are bad, make things that make things that are good look bad. This is what they do. That's why I tell you start everything you read, everything somebody tells you, question everything, research everything. I'm not one to tell you not to do it. You should do it. Okay, I've been begging folks to do it at one point. I don't know. Some folks actually did start doing it though, so I guess that wasn't wasting my time. So these are the things that throw in your face. And then here's another kicker: if that person who is the chosen child, unfortunately, took up Christianity and learned it, they still had to wear the black robe. They still had to wear even the black hat all day long, every day. Okay, but now they had to put a robe like cape on once they were pushed, once they was grandfather in to the Christianity once they learned it, and they had to have the cape had a cross on the back, a red cross on the back. So many of you think that cross is actually good. No, the cross is a pagan cross, and it's a symbol of the Nibiru spaceship, which is still weird because the actual ship, I think it's with that damn ship because Nibiru also is a hell. So I know it's a planet night spaceship as they say, but there's other spaces that is near it that look like a bird cross, like an eagle, gold eagle bird cross, and that is the double ship. And it seems to be dragging like it had a hold on Nibiru. And it's not just one ship. I have seen 3 ships, and it's some pyramid things like they're dragging along too. And it's all in these rocks, and all these rocks is going to be coming and stuff. They're all in there. It was a minute ago, and I'm pretty sure it's still on. It's a guy somewhere. It's going to be harder for you to find now, obviously. How they doing everything. A lot of my videos don't make it. The last video I posted actually almost didn't make it. I posted it twice, and I posted on all. I actually posted on 3 other channels, not all. I have 8 channels, so I only posted on 3 other channels to make sure it got through. I guess when they see me post it again, all of a sudden it appeared 15 minutes later when I was halfway loading that video. That's why I deleted the video that I was about to load because we've been in this video twice on the same channel. So they still busy. So I think you're caught to date so far. And he started to go, they're calling us yayas. And of course, then he said, anybody that ended up going to Christianity eventually, and when they finally got that cross on there with the cape on their back, as they had the black robe with the black hat on, eventually they were actually made into slaves. Yes, they were. Or killed. So that's just, what they always done in the history, you look up any story, how they try to force you to serve and bow down to their deity, and we don't do it. We stand proud and say we ain't gonna do it. We end up getting killed, and you still should stand up proud and don't do it. Submit to their deity. They still gonna kill you anyway. It's just now that you sold out to the devil, and now he gonna own your ass. And this is a fight, not just a physical fight. It's also a spiritual fight. But they want you, the spirit. Okay, everybody keeps saying soul, but your soul is your body. They need the spirit because the spirit connects to the body. Without the spirit, they can't keep the body. When it comes back, if they decide to bring it back, Lil Wayne body has been back. Okay, there's old pictures of him, and there's actually stuffed pyramid mummies of him. You can look this up. Obama and a lot of other folks as well, and there's a couple of cats in the street, and even some enemies of the United States as well. Were, listen, everybody's sent here by something, okay, or someone. Okay, the chosen people are sent here by who? The Creator. All right. And the funny thing is, it's just funny. The Bible does, and the books do say that they're going to be outside nations along with us. So that means that they're going to be not just so-called black people there. There's going to be some white people there, and they say a lot, but there's going to be some. There's going to be some so-called Indians, as you know, East Indians, and so there's going to be other nations there. There ain't going to be a lot of them, we're going to outnumber them massively, but some of them are going to be there. So this means that some of them have a chance. Maybe some of them may have got it right before, and that's why they're going to get to go, and they got it right this time again, because not all heathens or Gentiles, as the book calls them, serve the devil. There's actually some teaching. The last video that I showed you, that guy, he excuse me, he is showing a lot, and basically it only proved that the devil is acting like the creator. The devil is the physical one, acting like the creator. And there's no point of calling the names, because since he stole all the names, or any name that you say is going to be his name, therefore you cannot call him. You have to stay there with the creator. And you can see it in the YHWH names, WHY's names. He did a heck of a job, to say the least. Ugh, it's something else. But anyways, we're gonna keep going forward, because I don't want to. I tend to do that sometimes, and I have to keep realizing I have new people watching the channel. Man, this stuff, I heard stuff you guys missed when I've proven it. And so, who is this? I don't know. Okay. All right, there. So let's stay right there for a second. Okay, let's play this here. And hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. I'll get myself back on here. There you go. I'm doing this, y'all, so that you can actually, the video will play better. Because if not, it'll probably lag. All right, so.
And over.
Uh-oh.
And when the children of Judah was back under the curse, they were once again persecuted by none other than the red dragon. As the following reference AD 1209, the suffering of the Jews in Spain. were equally severe with those of their brethren. In England and France. At the commencement of the increase in number and wealth excited the populace against him, and putting himself at the head, entered and plundered their houses and synagogues. Skipping ahead, AD 1212. Crusaders who soon after assembled near Toledo completed the work of destruction bigoted prelate had begun. They prescribed no limits to their cruelty and made such havoc and carnage among this miserable people that Abravanel, a celebrated Jewish writer, considered this as most severe and bloody persecutions which his ever in that caused a greater number to abandon Spain than Moses conducted out of Egypt. The Spanish nobles endeavored to interpose their authority and to suppress these cruelties, but Ferdinand, who had then possessed the sovereign power in of the Aborigines and other sects, encouraged and promoted the persecution. Timeline. Around 33 AD, the children of Judah had given Yeshua over to the Red Dragon to be killed by Roman. After the Messiah's death, Jerusalem set AD, along with destroying the Most High's, Rome razed the Most High's temple to the ground. The children of Judah were persecuted mercilessly by the Red Dragon. And around 321 AD, the Red seized control. Roman Emperor Constantine was made the head of the Christian and Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. For example, the Emperor of Rome established Sunday as new rest and outlawed observing the Most High Yah's laws, statutes, and commandments. Around 711 AD, the Muslims, Saracens, Portugal, led by Commander Tariq ibn Ziyad. For a time, the Jews lived peaceably with in Spain and Portugal. The children around the region flooded into Spain and Portugal. However, as time passed on, the Talmud was introduced to Portugal. This caused the children of Judah to follow after the traditions of men, statutes and commandments of the Most High Yah. This caused the Jews of Spain and Portugal to be placed under a curse. This is when the Red Dragon repaid the Jews and the Muslims back for his defeat in 7 AD in Spain. The Red Dragon began laying the foundation for the Inquisition and the transatlantic slave trade. The Red Dragon issued a series of powerful rules of just person. Execution to new heights for many years to come. These decrees and powerful rules would send the children of Judah to the four corners of the world as slaves, kill the men and women of Judah who would not and commandments. These powerful rules would spread the whole world. Let's take a The Red Dragon took back most of Muslims. Only the small territory of Granada remained. However, many Jews and Muslims still remained in Spain. In other words, they surrendered.
Oh, matter of fact, while that's done, real quick, so I can say something. So I can say something real quick. Hold on. This is my damn thing. How they gonna play around with me? So okay, there we go. All right, let me come on here real quick. And okay, yeah. And anybody who's seen the videos, y'all seen the videos I've shown in the past on other channels and some on this channel. But I've shown some videos, and the videos are important because they're basically helping you understand what's going on. Unfortunately, despite a lot of people's efforts, they don't know what's going on. So at my job, there's been, I know definitely one, probably two. Yeah, it's gonna be two. It's gone to go get the jab. He has told me his wife has got the jab. His mother has took the jab. But I'm noticing on certain people, because they already are it. They already have the DNA in them, so it's not going to hurt them. And I keep telling you that, you know, as you know, I keep showing videos on it and mention this. You guys will be, or some of you might, maybe folks you may know. And here's the thing, they got folks at work and I course, I said something. He didn't listen. The folks at work, on your job, you don't know who has the jab. So you have to be careful at work now. Since 5G towers are going up, even now, if you have a computer, they're trying to force the 5G on you. If you go try to buy another modem, all modems now coming up is going to be 5G. All phones watch. You got your 4G cell phone, like I got a 4G cell phone, but hold on to that because all cell phones are going to be 5G. Watch, they about to totally do it. And when they flip that signal, y'all know what I showed y'all is going to happen on my videos. Okay, especially down and the ones that I couldn't put on here. I didn't put in. That was a long time ago. But I didn't put any. The ones I didn't put on here. If you went to Rumble and seen me, Mr. The News, on there, and you look through my channel on there, I'm exposing all that stuff on Rumble. Okay, I got like 3 channels on Rumble right now. But so I'm just want y'all to be aware of your surroundings when you're at work, because this is something that I have noticed. And actually, let's get back to the lesson. I just had to say that. Yeah, especially while it was taking so it can do what it do. Just give it a second. There it goes.
To the Roman Christian forces. The Roman Christian masters didn't dare persecute those that remained, because they still had a sizable Muslim presence in Granada. It was at this time that the Pope issued a series of papal bulls and edicts or laws that would change the course of Christianity and the path of mankind forever. Let's take a closer look at the papal bulls called Doom and Romanus Pontifex. Again, after the triumphs of 1441 and 1442, when the first natives and gold dust had been brought to Europe from the Sahara coast, Prince Henry appeals directly to the whole body of Christian sovereigns in his discovery and conquest. Nor is this appeal one of mere terms. King Henry offers to divide his profits with his allies. Neither in the 15th nor the 12th century are plans of crusade. But the common action once found attainable is so no longer. The Portuguese offers are everywhere declined. As a nation on its thing alone. Though volunteers from other countries might flock to its stand, it is now, therefore, that the prince sends his embassy to the Holy See. And Eugenius, the celebrated bull of December 1442, granting the forgiveness of sin to all those engaged in the war. Skipping ahead. The same note of crusade is repeatedly struck by the pontiff of the next days, all contemporaries of the infant. Thus, Nicholas V in 1402, by the bull of Portugal, to make war upon the infidels, to conquer them and to enslave their persons. And the following reference it reads, by the 1452, Nicholas V granted King Alfonso general and indefinite powers to search out and conquer all pagans, enslave them, and appropriate their lands and goods. The bull Romanus Pontifex, on the other hand, settled the dispute between Portugal and Spain in favor of Portugal, exclusive rights in the vast southerly in the district to which it applied, Qatar and the district of Cape Verde, and nailed through all Guinea, the west coast of Africa. Declared that this, together with all other lands or after 1452, so his successors and Prince Henry, and to no others. At the actual text, after all, the devil is in the details. Begins by proclaiming the Pope to be the key, and last but not least, the Pope proclaims to be God.
Just for the record, we don't serve Mr. J or none of them names. We only serve the Creator. The Creator is a spirit. We all children of the Creator, a portion of the Creator. We all connected. Therefore, the Spirit, the Creator, is also in you.
Reads, possessing upon this earth the God, all successor of the key bearer of Jesus.
Again, there we go. Hold on, y'all. The hijack. So I got to stop it right there for a second. Because of the hijack, as you already, I can't let that one slide. He said it twice. So let me go ahead and get back. Only serve the Creator of the Spirit. Of the heavens could not hold the Creator. That G-source that makes life, makes planet, even makes flowers grow. The fact is that nobody can do what he do. Even that older book, they had to omit that creativeness is of the creators, as far as making animals and so forth, people and all that. How we also know that the devil did things. The devil also, or I should say devil and devils. Devil only means enemies of the Creator. And since the enemy of the Creator, the enemy of you, and even to the outside nations, because we can't just look at you and say that you ain't going to the kingdom. That's just not how it works. If you get it right, obviously, to be in, okay, which will be on earth, and I know there's going to be a heavenly kingdom. And the kingdom we're talking about, the one that he's talking about, his kingdom come, that's the devil's kingdom that he's talking about that is coming. The devil wants to go. The devil is unfortunately supposed to go for a share of time, and we're hoping. Well, actually, I do know that Paul Tarsus is lie. Bullshit. It's definitely going to be way shorter than that. However, it's going to be tough. In fact, you can see it already. Transformation already happened. Many folks don't even realize that the devil's kingdom is now doing a full transformation on what the devil wants to be. So it's all in your face. So if you ain't seeing it now, you either sleep still, or you don't want to let go of this reality, so you refuse to see it, and it bothers you so much that you won't look at it or see it, and you just can't handle it mentally. And some folks get stressed out and depressed about it, and so forth. But really, since 16, y'all researching, and didn't always really research. So the heavens can't hold the Creator, nor maintain the Creator, and the Creator said He would not be in a body, which is a house, or any place in the so-called heavens or galaxies or planets. He would not be. All right, and which is why the Creator had to put a portion of Himself in us, which is who? The children of the Creator. You are the portion of the Creator, and that's why He is in you, because you are His children. Okay, so, and proof of this, that He sits down because it can't maintain you, which means that it can't constantly hold you. Can it hold you? Obviously, it's holding you for a short time, short while, but it must go to sleep. You don't sleep, your body sleeps. You leave. Most of you leave. The ones that deal with the Creator leave. You get messages from the Creator, you get dreams. Sometimes messages are unfortunately interrupted or distorted by the enemy. However, there are some things that you have learned from the Creator and maybe even spoken to the Creator about, that you have will remember up and will not remember it. Because when you come back in your body and your body wakes up, as they say, you woke up because you were asleep, but you really didn't sleep. Why? Because it has its energy, okay, and it must hold you and maintain you for a short while. But the Creator, right? The Creator that we serve, think about that. If our body can barely even do what it does for us, how in the world would it do anything for the Creator? It's not possible. And that's why the Creator asked the rhetorical question, why would we take a house that the Creator built? So we need to start looking at things for what they really saying and really listening to the Creator. And the Creator also said, man will not live by bread alone, but by every word, every word, every word. And we need a physical mouth, okay? The devil will say a physical mouth, because the devil's coming down and it's going to get ugly. So we need to start realizing that the planet already been invaded, and the full head-on invasion is coming. It's going to be bad. Civil wars and so forth. That is going to happen. So I'm telling you all this because I need everybody really. Y'all need to get prepared. All right. You see what's happening in Texas. That's why I've been doing these videos called War Games, to hopefully get somebody to open their eyes up to see what's happening now, what they're doing to you now, what their plan is for you now, for the next town, city, or state, or country. So there's a lot of other countries, things of what they're for, what's actually really happening. Damn, hit on my face, man. What's happening? What's really going on? Okay, so wake or woke. All right, and a lot of these names that you guys are the titles that, you know, the basic titles that's in the Bible, those are the devil's name too. You can look this up. Don't even believe anything I say. Look at it for yourself. You can see it for yourself. Like, you know, one of my favorite sayings is, sin is, don't depend on me just to show you, and even if I give you the evidence, which 9 times out of 10 I usually do, still look it up for yourself, even when you've seen the evidence. When I see documentation, paperwork, receipts, omissions, even when I have shown the treaty between the Canaanites and the devil, people should have still researched that, so they can still go through it and see it for themselves. I know I read it to everybody. It'd be good if y'all went out, because actually reading it while looking at it and following what it worked for yourself, and you have all day to do it, it's going to, you're going to understand the situation that you was in, and so forth. Let's keep going. I'm going to get my face off the camera so this could place. There we go. All right, just give it a minute.
We Lucifer, or the devil, chapter 14, verse 7, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou sayest in thine heart, I will exalt my God. I will
Trying to mess up my stream. Okay. All right, so we're back. They always be trying to kick me off. What's going on with my phone? Okay. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, y'all. Oh, whoa. This would help, right? Oh, hold on, that's wrong. Okay, I want to share the screen again, so give me a second. Yeah, here we go. Okay, there we go. Now we get into business. This actually should be less of a problem now, considering what I did. But here we go again. All right.
Dumb diversus specified the district to which it applied, Cutter, and the district of Case Rajadru, and nailed through all Guinea, the west coast of Africa, and beyond towards the southern shore, and declared that this, all other lands acquired Portugal from the infidels, before or after 1452, belonged to King Alfonso, his successors, and Prince Henry, and to no others. Let's take a closer look at the actual text of the Red Dragons. The devil is in the details. To be the key bearer of the heavenly kingdom, he then goes on to declare himself the replacement of Christ. And last but not least, the Pope proclaims to be God on earth. As the following, on this earth, the place of God Almighty. And the Papa Bull reads, the Roman Pontiff, successor of the key bearer of the heavenly kingdom, and vicar, we note that Lucifer, or the devil, has beliefs identical to the Pope. In Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12, which reads, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground? For thou sayest in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne of the stars. I will sit also on the mount of the congregation. Eyes of the Lord. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. We see Lucifer's desire to be God, just like the Pope, or who claims to be God Almighty on earth. The Pope is powerful away kingdoms such as West Africa and the New World in Spain. And it reads, to the tenors of these presents, decree and declare and forever of right do belong and pertain to the aforesaid king and to his successors and to the infant, and that the right of conquest, which in the course of these letters we declare to be ended from the capes of Bajador and far as through all Guinea, which is the west coast of Africa, and beyond towards the southern shore, has belonged and pertained and forever of right belongs and pertains to the said King Alfonso, his successors, and the infant, and not to any others. We know that the devil, or the red dragon, also believes he has kingdoms to whomever he wishes. And the following reference reads, and showed unto him all the kingdoms of the world, all this power, for that is given unto me, and to whomever I will give it. If you shall be Hasatan. For it is written, thou shalt worship Yah thy Elohim.
Okay, so the real prophet, who we did not serve, and never rose from the dead, and never claimed that he was going to rise, told the devil to. All right, and that other name he used is also pagan. We should not be calling on these names. They are names of Nephilim, Anunnaki, giants, or Nephilim. When there's a whole bunch of Alpha Nephilim, Omega Nephilim, a whole bunch of Nephilim, all demons. Should not be doing that. Stop saying the names. All right? I keep telling you this because I've done the research. I made mistakes on calling all those names. I found out and finally figuring it all out. And I'm telling you so that you don't have to make the same mistake and bump your head like I did, because that shit sucks. Okay, let's keep it going.
The same way the devil tells Christ he can give away all the kingdoms on the earth, the Pope gives away kingdoms on the earth to whomever he wishes. And continuing on through the bull, the Pope grants Portugal.
The only one that gives any piece of the earth is the Creator only. And the Creator put everybody where they needed to be at first. Unfortunately, people got greedy, and Creator never gave a prophet the ability to what's the word of it, to say that, okay, well, that's your land. No, that's not how it works. If you're native to that land, and I'll use the correct term, okay? I know they like to call us Indians and all that shit, although we were the real Indians if they want to keep calling us that. All it means is we're not going to go into the meanings. We understand it meant black. We didn't like it then. We still don't like it now. If you are Aborigine, Aboriginist, Indigenous, okay, you are indigenous to a land. You are Aboriginist or Aborigine to a land, okay? You are, what's the word, Nubian to a land, okay? Get it? And if somebody took your land, they just simply stole your land. It's still your land. You just can't have it till the Creator decides to hand it back to you, because only the Creator is the one that decides who gets land. All right, now let's keep going. Sorry
to perpetually enslave Muslims and non-believers in the Catholic faith of Judah. And singular the premise with due meditation, and noting that since we by other letters of ours granted among other things free and ample faculty to the aforesaid King Alfonso
to invade, search out, capture, vanquish, and subdue all Saracens and whatsoever and other enemies of Christ, dukedoms, principalities,
enemies. They want to subdue all the enemies of Mr. C. Mr. C is also Mr. J. Mr. J is also the son of Mr. Z, the double son. Get it? The bright morning star. Do you get it yet? Why is Mr. J the bright morning star, but the devil's the bright morning star? Are you getting it? All right. So it is what it is. Don't fall for the hijack. But you see how they are telling on themselves. A minute ago, no disrespect, brother who's showing the video, he read the scripts that I had to let y'all know exactly what it was because he put the hijack in there. Now he's reading where they are telling on themselves, okay? So they're saying that we were the enemies of Mr. C. Yeah, we were. Who was Mr. C in that time? Mr. C was, of course, who they served. But here's the kicker. They tricked a black brother who was one of our people, and they had him enslaved, and they taught him Christianity, and somehow convinced this brother, or maybe he knew and just wanted all the stuff, that he seemed to be, as they say, he was the he basically christened that he was Mr. C himself. Here's the funny thing, right? This brother was going around enslaving our people, brother against brother, son against son, daughter against daughter, and he kidnapping our people and bringing our people, and he was one of us. right back over to Spain to the Portuguese. Yes, he did. He certainly did. Yes, sirree. But it's funny because the more I look at the story, all right, it seems that King James and this Mr. J or Mr. C, who was enslaving his own people and was working for the Khazarians and mainly the Portuguese, who you call the Spaniards, the conquistadors, are the Portuguese, all right, working for them. So we should not be serving Mr. J. How come the first slave ship is called the Good Slave Ship, Mr. J? So this is something that they must have convinced him, or he just freaking didn't give a shit. And he was loving the money and all the trinkets that was coming along with it. All right. And yes, we did kill him because he was enslaving our people and killing our people. Okay. So don't fall for the hijack. Now, Prester John, which is not the real name, and King David, still the wrong name, aka Shems Enoch, still the wrong name because it's still a hijack. Okay, all those names are hijacked, and there's older names that are still hijacks. Sorry, nobody knows the real prophet's real name, and the real prophet never claimed to rise from the dead, nor did the real prophet ever tell you to serve him. In fact, the prophet told you to serve the Creator only and not to serve him. Although some of us didn't listen. If you look at the Mardi Gras down there, I forgot where the Mardi Gras happens at, but Magnolia or something like that. Where the Magnolia and all other stuff is at? Happens someplace in that damn city, or state, whatever. All right, they walk down a parade with a king statue, a black king statue, as to be worshiping him. Mighty funny. King David has a story where folks are singing a song about him. Still wrong name, by the way. King Saul is great. He slayed 1,000, and that name is also wrong. But King David slayed 2,000, or was it 5,000? It was one or the other. Either way, the name is still wrong. But how these stories line up? That was the questions you got to start asking yourself as well. So I'm just putting in with some of the things that he's leaving out, so you understand how deep this goes. Oh, my phone's going crazy. I don't know where my phone is at anyway, so. Okay.
In all movable and immovable goods, whatsoever held and possessed by them, and to reduce their persons to perpetual slavery.
Appropriate to himself his successors, the kingdoms, dukedoms, country, principalities, many possessions, and goods, and to convert them to his and their use and profit. And last but not least, the Pope defines how Spain and Portugal and any nation they contract with trade on the west coast of Africa and Spain. These instructions, the Pope grants purchases and sales of any things in goods and victuals whatsoever, as it shall seem fit, with any Saracen and infidel in the said regions, west coast of Africa, and also may enter contracts, transact business, bargain, buy, negotiate, and whatsoever to the places of those Saracens and infidels, provided they be not iron instruments, wood to be used for construction, corded ships, or any kinds of armor, and may sell them to the said Saracens, Muslims, and non-believers in the Catholic religion, and also may do perform or and the Pope also authorizes Spain and Portugal and any nation they contract with the authority to set up churches, lands that they take from the natives. Is how the red dragon's form of Christianity spread around the world. After all, it was said that Satan would deceive the whole world. And it reads, and caused and built monasteries or other pious places whatsoever, and also made send over Spain and Portugal, along with other countries. You conquer the world, enslave the people, and drag version of Christianity in the world.
Real quick, and by the way, we never called ourselves Christians. If you look up the name Christian, you find out the devil's name is actually in that name. We never called ourselves Christians. Don't fall for the trick. It's another.
Prince of Peru. And the following reference reads, page, it reads, but Atabalaba, a Peruvian prince, informed of Pizarro's and Almagro's coming, commanded them both to depart to Coxamalaca, where Atabalaba kept his court, who again sent other messengers to them with command to leave his Pharaoh made answer that he could not obey any commands but those of his emperor, who had ordered him to speak with the king himself at his own palace. Atabalaba, hearing Pizarro's resolve to come forward, sent him a pair of painted shoes and ornaments, that he might for his Captain Fernando Soto marched before with 20 horse the flank of Atabalaba's army. The Indians, amazed at the prancing of their horses, retreated into their fortifications, but were for their cowardice immediately slain by the king's orders. Soto sent a message that the Spaniards desired peaceably to treat with it, to which he received answer that no peace could be made unless they restored the gold and the silver to the owners, which they plundered from them, and forsook his territories. With so doing, they should have audience the next day. Hereupon, the bishop, Vincent de Villa Verdi. Now, note, it wasn't the captain that spoke with the king. Instead, it was the Roman bishop of
dragon. And let's continue. And it reads, was conducted into the royal palace in the city of Katamala. And Bala, who came thither in great state with a guard of 25,000 men. He was carried on the shoulders of his prime nobles in a sedan about which hung garlands of gold and diverse colors of feathers. He himself with a white loose vest without sleeves, long tassel on his head struck 3 curious feathers. Before him was 300 of his life guard, all in one library. The before mentioned bishop carried in one hand a scorpion with the king to this effect: that God is the Trinity, Christ born of a virgin, the Pope, God's. That vicegerent means that the bishop is saying that the Pope is God's representation on earth, and that the Pope is God. And as we continue reading, it says, who according to the power he had from heaven had given Peru to the Emperor Charles, as also
This is how he came to America.
obstinate and resist. He must expect less than utter ruin. Atabalaba replied that he's served Pachamama, being the creator of all things.
In the past. But why would you go? They keep telling you all that fake Africa. So that's how good they tricked you. But why would you go there? Go there, you. I'm just saying, why would you go there when you was already here? This was a lab. They didn't even know how to find this place. So let's say Columbus, that's not his own name. Christopher Cole, who was a half Moor, okay, how to find this place, because he had some Hamite find this place. Yes, indeed, the Moors did. Now, I don't see Arabian Moors. The fact was King James was a black Moor, but King James also was one of our people. At least that's what they say. And if that is the case, he's one of our people, therefore he should not have been a Moor. He was supposed to be following the laws and ordinances of the real creator, not what the devil told us to do. And I broke that down a minute ago. I will do that again. Yada, yada, yada. Okay? So you have to start noticing all these little hijacks that they put forth in front of your eyes and try to get you to look at. And tell me why all the pyramids that they have found stuff at is in America. All these things and objects that they have in these museums of so-called Egypt come from pyramids in America. Why is that? Because certain parts of America is also Egypt. It has also been proven that they have made a cheap imitation over there in that near that fake Israel, okay, where all those pyramids Those are cheap imitations. Yeah, yeah, get this. Cheap imitations of the real thing, which is here in America. Even the real Spanx is here in America. That Spanx they have over there is a cheap imitation. Even the rivers do not line up over there. They line up over in the Americas. If you look up, even from the King James Version, the actual names of where these places were, you will find out that they are all in America. You will find out that this is actually the old land that was hidden from all the enemies and kept the enemies from coming over here, and it was forbidden for them to come over here, and they all knew it, and they would not dare to try to come over here until we start fucking up, because that's when the Creator allowed the devil to do what the devil does best: steal, kill, and destroy people, and destroy you as a people. So you have no idea what lineage, which the first thing you actually was dealing with, and so forth. Okay? We know we were only dealing with the Creator. You know, the Creator gave natural law, law of the land, all right, and of course the commandments, which are all common sense anyway. Anybody tell you wrong by design, on purpose. So that's another thing you need to start looking into. However, there are some laws we are supposed to abide by because it is healthy for us. Those are the food laws. But do not mistake it. Even the devil at the time who was telling you to do those laws was the food law. The devil told you the food law. Yes, he did. When it came to the meats and stuff, that was not good for you because we're actually not supposed to eat meat. When the Creator gave us stuff at first, he gave us what? The herbs and all other stuff. That changed over time due to stuff that happened. However, the Creator does not change. We were supposed to go back to the original law, which is herbs and vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. Well, the devil don't put the meats in there because he wanted you not to go back to that law. He wanted you to eat the meat. And even in that older book that the gentleman read them that I showed you that the devils made excuse for their lust for blood. They figured that they burn it, in other words, cook it and eat it, then the blood will be quote unquote gone away. It'll be not of them eating blood. But they don't understand that the blood is still always attached to the flesh. This is why I keep telling you as well. We didn't sacrifice animals. We're not supposed to hurt animals or kill them. We're supposed to maintain the land and what? Take care of the animals who were not attacking us, doing anything to us at first, until of course man fell. But that's another story. Of course, that's a whole other story. And I've been through that, and that story is still going deeper, as we know, because now people do know. I showed the video that the God of Eden is not on this planet no more. It's on a whole other planet. You may call it Tiamat, okay, the so-called forgotten planet that had a crash with Nibiru, the hell-like spaceship. All right, and there's definitely some fuck shit on there you don't want to deal with, but hey, you will be dealing with it soon. You will be seeing some crazy shit soon. Things are gonna go down. It don't matter where you at. The more I get into this, the deeper I research, the more I realize that it don't matter where you at. If you ain't, you better be ready. You better be ready, and also better be prepared. And I say that also to protect yourself. It don't matter where you at. You need to know, and I'm telling all y'all, you need to know how to live in the wilderness. You need to learn how to build off of just regular resources. Everything is here. All the gold is here in the Americas. Okay, even the so-called King David's kingdom is in the Americas. You can look all this stuff up. The land of milk and honey is in the Americas. This is why Christopher Columbo, his real name, said that we was living in gardens and Edens all over the land. He said the fish were jumping into the boat before he even reached the shore. He was jealous of the way we were living. In fact, he wanted it for himself. So, like I said, the reason I'm telling you more of this stuff because they left some things out, and I make sure it gets in there.
And next to him, the sun and the moon. How glorious do they appear, said he, and to a crucified God. To make peace and alliance with mighty princes was the true wise government. But the Pope must needs be useless, devoid of all reason, and withal highly unjust.
Oh yeah, and as far as the time and dates all messed up, they added was it 1,000 years to a timeline or something like that. They told you the same story 3 or 4 times over. He was like, no, these like 5 or 6 different names. It's the same fucking guy. They told you the story 5 or 6 times over. That ADBC and all that shit, that's all bullshit. Don't fall for it. So, and it is, we understand, 2012. But they told you it's what? 2021. But now, looking at that, the Mayans' idea was 2012. I mean, that was a different time. But they had it right because it may not be 2012, though, only because, here's the thing, they added 1,000 years to our date. So we still off. No matter how we go, it's going to be fucked up. And the creator also did mention that we would try to seek and find what? The times and the dates. To do what? His feast days, right? And then what? Excuse me. We'll fuck up. We'll sit there and be doing pagan days by mistake. Really trying to serve him, but end up serving the devil. So that's why I told y'all need to start doing more research on everything you read, everything you heard. These camps, they telling y'all some truth, but leaving out a lot of stuff because they want you to fall for the hijack. They want you to fall for the trip. Okay? We are dependent on the creator to give us all the information, and before we can even do a feast day, we get the time and days right. We can't do stuff by the moon, by the stars, because it's pagan. They are for a sign, yes. But that means you be falling around and shit and praying to them. Or going by a calendar by it. Okay, that calendar has been debunked many times. This calendar definitely has been debunked many times as well. Okay?
Yes, sir. Hold on, tell this guy, call him back. I'm a little busy.
Okay, anyways. So, I'm going to just start right there and just keep playing video for a second. As I hold this message that I got from above.
To give away what is own, viz. Other men's kingdom. In which he had never the least or smallest concern. Moreover, he would not religion which he and his ancestors had maintained so many years, because there was no apparent sufficient testimony of Christianity. The latter clause was thus answered, saying, this book, O king, which I hold question, Atabala, then looked more intent, clapped it to either ear, and at last, as altogether unsatisfied, in disdainful manner, threw it away. Needless to say that this act done by the king literally caused all hell to break loose. And at that point, the Spaniards conquered the king, killed many people, took his land and his resources, and established churches. let's review what we've learned so far about the Papal Bulls and the Pope. We've learned that the Pope calls himself Yah's vicegerent, or God on earth. If we look at the definition of the word vicegerent, it reads a person regarded as an earthly representative of God or a God, especially the Pope. In other words, it means that the person claims to be God on earth. And we know that, like the Pope, Lucifer, or the devil, also claims to be like the Most High. In Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou let down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" Verse 14, "I will ascend above the heavens of the clouds. I will be like the Most And also, the book of Thessalonians speaks of the one who would claim to be God in the last. He is termed the man of perdition. And today, the man of perdition is being revealed. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 reads, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth that is worshipped, and that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." So we see that the Pope views himself as God on earth. And we also see that the Pope calls him right. And for that, let's take a look at Matthew chapter 20, verse 5. It reads, "For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many." So we see that Christ warns us not to.
Right? And then it will say that they are the creator. But the name they're going to use is Mr. C, Mr. J, and many other names that come from the YHWH, the WHYH, and all other names y'all keep calling on. I keep telling you to stop calling. Some of you ain't calling them, but a lot of folks are.
Follow after those that would claim to be, and learn that the Pope believes that he was given authority to give away kingdoms on earth to whomever he wishes. This includes people and resources. We read how the devil, like the Pope, also believed that he was given power to give away all the kingdoms of the earth. His only requirement was that he poured, verse 5, and the devil into a house, show unto him all the kingdom. And the devil said unto him, All this power will I give thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and to whomever I will give it. We learned to establish the transatlantic slave trade and the rules governing the transatlantic slave trade. The Pope defined the type of slavery that was authorized, which was perpetual slavery. He also defined the terms of the trade, what things could be traded and what things could not be traded, and with whom.
holiness and his laws, along with making war against those who would keep the riches of the Most High Yah and have faith in Christ. We read in Revelations.
It's the hijack again. No, we only have faith in the Creator. We don't call because it's all Nephilim, demon, devils, and man who claim to be something that they not, and all this other retarded bullshit. We're not going for the hijack. So you can scratch that off the list, y'all. What he just said, because there he is again, going into doctrines of men. Okay, because when he read what they had to say, they said we were against Mr. C, we were against Mr. J. And that's why they wanted to come against us. We wouldn't submit to their deity, Mr. J and Mr. C, Mr. Z, and all other names that they keep trying to get you to call on. We wouldn't serve those deities. Why? We knew that the Creator was in us, and we only served the Creator. We knew the Creator is a spirit, and therefore, we really didn't even need a fucking name. As long as we knew that, and knowing that even your blood cries out to the Creator. Therefore, when you thinking, the Creator already knows what's going on, and he already know what you think, and he know what you need help with. Before even decide to even what they call pray. And then they had you get on your knees to pray. You're not supposed to be getting on your knees to pray. You're supposed to stand up with your hands up and pray. So they tricked you with a hijack again. Got you in a submissive state when the Creator's in you. You're supposed to be standing up with your hands up, reaching out to the Creator, right? That is in you, so he can what? Send you messages to you inside your body, because that's where you are. That's where you dwell. You in your vessel. You in your house, okay? So that he can connect with you, not on your knees, submissive, and you ain't getting nowhere with that. And the Creator looking at you before you even got down there and said, "Why my child on their knees?" When they're supposed to have their hands lifting up towards me, praying to the Creator, trying to connect with me, realizing that the Creator works through all things and everything. It's like the Book of Ruth tell you. See, you'll see more people don't read, and that's part of the problem. All right. And when you think to the Creator already got your message. Now, if he decides to help you with that message, as far as, I don't know what you're asking him for and stuff like that, because I'm not in your prayers, but you know what I mean. That's up to the Creator. That's why I tell everybody. And I said this, I think, more than once. I think this might be my third time saying it, at least while teaching or even on a video. If you pray for something, pray for things that the Creator wants you to pray for. Stop looking for all these physical things. And really, you at a time, you should be praying for good health, that your metabolism holds up, you have a place to live inside, even in the wilderness. You learn how to build, that you'll be safe. Pray that you get to the wilderness or get to a place of safety, away from all the rat race and zombie land soon and all this other craziness. Listen, they put stuff on TV to tell you on purpose, bro. It's not a game. This is not checkers. This is chess. I keep telling y'all, and I can't wait to get Brother Truth and some of the other guys, Brother Asfita Pay Attention, and Brother Kazar and Brother Kadar, and a whole bunch of other guys on here, because there's a lot of knowledge that's gonna come forth. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna be surprised. Those who been watching for a long time, you know what I'm talking about. So they went above and beyond. Let me make sure I'm going my hour, because I told somebody an hour. And I don't want to sit there and be lying. Yeah, I'm over my hour. Okay, so we're going to end here, but see how they changed everything, and they want to come against you. And why is the Pope? The Pope this, the Pope that, the Pope this, the Pope that, the Pope this, the Pope that. So the Pope has, of course, symbols the Khazarians, which also some of you Russians are part of the Khazarian family. Sorry to tell you, and some of you, what's the sweet, what's the word? It's not Sicilian. That's not Sicilian, but I forgot the name. Whatever. But anyways, I'm just letting you know. And of course, you got the Spaniards, the conquistadors, the Portuguese, whatever else they are. A lot of folks got raped over the years, okay, from all the stuff they did and they stole and pillaging and the whole 9 yards. So everybody, I'm just letting you know, all skin folk and kinfolk, and you might want to start testing out people's spirit as well, like I've been telling you. And you need to be doing extensive research. I'm gonna stop right there. If you want to watch more of this video, man, this video is a very good video. Okay, about to say, and then let me scroll down. They were doing me like that. All right, it's called, well, you probably can't see it, but Hebrew Connect Live. That's what this was called. Biblical Hebrew. Okay. Peace and love. This video. It's a very good video. All praise to God, everybody. I'm out of here. Peace. So.